Welcome to November's Diabetes Technology Report. In this video, I'll get you up to speed on what happened in the diabetes technology world over the last month. And again, a lot has happened. Diabeloop has received CE mark for second ever closed loop system. Tidepool has announced that Omnipod Dash will be the first insulin pump to work with Tidepool Tideloop. Dexcom has modified its partnership with Verily to develop super sleek CGM, and I got a chance to play with highly anticipated Accu-Chek Solo. This and so much more is coming your way. Diabetes technology, artificial pancreas, implantable CGMs, insulin pens, closed loop systems. We are not waiting. Let's kick things off with Diabeloop. On the 7th of November, they have received CE mark for the first closed loop system called DBLG1. This French system works just like any other closed loop system such as 670G, so it has give me more insulin when I'm high and give me less insulin when I'm low system. But it is actually unlike any other system currently available, as it uses a patch pump. System uses Dexcom G6, Kaleido patch pump, and Diabeloop's own algorithm on a small controller. DBLG1 is a huge deal because it's second ever approved hybrid closed loop system. Even though some might call it patch version of 670G, this system is more advanced and offers a lot more flexibility compared to Medtronic's closed loop. DBLG1 allows you to choose your target glucose as long as it's between 100 and 130. It also allows users to customize other settings such as hypoglycemia threshold. After watching the session at D-Data, it just looks like Diabeloop just kind of gets it. I said before that I wish CGMs had some kind of sneeze high alarm function for the next 2 hours feature, because it is obvious that I am going to spike after a carby meal, and Diabeloop has it. They call it the Zen mode. DBLG1 with the Zen mode is launching in Europe in 2019, initially in France, and then, quote from our email interview, countries where there is an appetite for innovative medical devices and fluid reimbursement mechanism. I have asked Diabeloop a lot of questions about other pumps, integration, how their system compares to the do-yourself systems, whether it's going to be possible to control it from your smartphone. All of those answers and more are in video description. Over to some Tidepool Loop news now. Insulet has announced that the Omnipod Dash will be the first insulin pump to work with Tidepool Loop.
And Insulet is the first company to announce that they are working with Tidepool as a partner in order to be an official pump working with Tidepool Loop.
Loop is a do-it-yourself closed-loop system developed by our wonderful community, and Tidepool is currently working on making it FDA approved. If you want to learn more about this, feel free to press this link to watch Tidepool's session from this year's Diabetes Innovation Summit, which I've recorded. More Insulet news. Insulet has just signed an agreement with Samsung. Samsung is collaborating with Omnipod to make an Omnipod Dash app for Samsung phones. This will enable full control of your Omnipod Dash pods from your Samsung phone. Project doesn't yet have FDA clearance, but Samsung expects approval in 2019. Over to some Dexcom news now. Dexcom has been working with Verily for a while now, trying to make this super small CGM. They have just updated their agreement. Dexcom announced that it plans to buy $250 million worth of stocks in Verily. The key message from this deal is that Dexcom is really committed on making this small CGM happen as soon as possible. It looks amazing, and they both calling it next generation CGM. Device will have no calibration, 14-day sensor with transmitter built in. Think of it as super small, super cheap Dexcom G6. Ooh. It's ooh indeed. Dexcom CEO said that our collaboration remains on track to deliver our next generation CGM platform by the end of 2020. Some Libre news. Libre Link has been approved by the American FDA and is now available in the US. iPhone users can now use their phone to scan their Freestyle Libre sensor. Links with instructions on how to set it up are, as always, in video description. And lastly, some blood glucose monitors news. Asensi has recently updated their app, which communicates directly with the Contour One Next Bluetooth meter. It now works with the health app on the iPhone. Yes, I actually used that meter, and that was something that was really needed in their app. So I am personally so happy they finally updated it. And another meter news, Sonovo has announced partnership with Roche to allow direct communication between Sonovo Generation 3 system and Accu-Chek Bluetooth enabled meters. And that concludes your November's Diabetes Technology Report. Now, we're not going to finish here this month because obviously we know that November is not any ordinary month, is it? It's Diabetes Awareness Month. I love November for so many reasons. It's starting to feel Christmassy. I hope you can kind of see that in this video. And the gingerbread lattes are in. By the way, top tip, if you're buying any kind of drink in Starbucks, especially during Christmas period, get yourself the Starbucks app. You can just check the nutritional information in there. I feel like most people know that, but if you don't, it's a pro tip. From a person that drinks Starbucks twice a day, pretty much all the time. Anyway, this year my November was just absolutely like insane. I mean, it was crazy. So it kicked off with Diabetes Innovation Summit in San Francisco. I had the best time ever. Honestly, it was incredible. Loads of amazing diabetes tech announced and talked about there. Some of the things that I discussed in this month's episode, like Tidepool Loop Omnipod Dash announcement that was announced there, when I was there, just insane. And cool things like the Clue Apple Watch app, so app that detects when you eat food. So if you forget to bolus, it says, have you bolus for this meal? So really cool. Check that vlog to make sure you know what I'm talking about. Also, I celebrated World's Diabetes Day in the best way possible with loads of amazing type 1s in London. I went there for Bloggers event and Diabetes Professional Care Conference in London and Olympia, thanks to Roche. Now, before I talk about it, I want to make it absolutely clear that Roche has paid for my train to London, for my hotel in London, for food when I was in there, and for the pass to Diabetes Professional Care Conference in Olympia. I am not in any way obligated to talk about that event or Roche or the new Solo patch pump. I didn't vlog that event. It just wasn't the appropriate setting for it. It was a roundtable discussion about various different topics and stuff, and so it wasn't the vlog kind of setup. But I got to play with the newest pump from Accu-Chek, from Roche, the Accu-Chek Solo. So my honest opinion about the pump, I really like this thing. I love the fact that you can actually bolus from the micro pump itself. So this is the micro pump, and you have to, in order to do it, you kind of need to simultaneously press the buttons on the left and the right, and you need to apply quite a substantial amount of force. It's not something that you would do kind of when you sleep on your micro pump. You wouldn't press it by accident. Trust me, it's very nicely engineered. You kind of press that, and then it gives you insulin, which is great. So if you leave your controller at home, or the battery of it dies, or something happens, you can still do it from the actual micro pump, which I think is genius actually. But the key thing that I love about this pump is the environmentally friendly aspect of it. So you actually reuse the main section of the pump. You use that for about 4 months, which is the battery kind of limit. So for 4 months. And then every couple of days you change the pump assembly, which you kind of change on the same basis as you change your infusion sets for your tubed pumps. And you also have the reservoir, which I think is very nice. The controller is fully touchscreen. It is a smartphone essentially. It is a little bit larger than your average smartphone because it actually has a built-in blood glucose monitor. Really looking forward to seeing this pump hit the market soon. Thank you so much, Roche. Thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure. I loved it. And also for inviting us to the diabetes technology sessions at Diabetes Professional Care. They were fascinating, so thank you. Okay, thank you so much for watching. This was your November's Diabetes Technology Report with me, NeDiabetic. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe here and check my other videos here.